Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Wednesday. I hope you are humping, getting over the hump. I'm sorry, did I say humping? Whatever you do on hump day, I hope you are able to do it because it is 1 week away from the start of the 2023 training camp for the Dallas Cowboys. 1 week away. Thank God. We'll finally have some stuff to really talk about. Okay, so we are listening to a report about Zack Martin. Zack Martin, who was just named the best interior offensive lineman by the boys at Pro Football Focus. Skip. You know them boys at Pro Football Focus. They watch a lot of football. Skip. And they know what they talking about. Whether he is the very best interior offensive lineman or not, he is definitely up there. Word out is that he is considering holding out because he would like to get a new contract. Now, we don't know if this is in fact true or not true. As we look at the hierarchy here of where centers are being paid, Zack Martin's total value of the contract he signed was $84 million, okay? And that averages out to $14 million a year, okay? $14 million. Now, one thing the Cowboys have done is they have restructured his contract several times to give themselves some cap room, which they do on a regular. Everybody's sitting there focusing on Dak Prescott's contract number of $59 million next year. It's not going to be a $59 million cap hit any more than Deshaun Watson's was going to be at $49 this year. That's where the voidable years come in. You can do what you want to do. As far as guards go, as far as the money at least that goes on them, the highest paid guard is Chris Lindstrom for the Falcons. His total contract value is $102 million, which averages out to $20 million a year with 62 guaranteed. Followed by Brandon Sharif, $49 million, which is a $16.5 million deal. So that's a big drop of $4 million from the top guy to the second guy. Followed by Wyatt Taylor of the Browns at $56 million, 56.8 with $14 million guaranteed, and then 14.2. And then you have Zack Martin, who is an $84 million deal, the second highest total amount of money on the deal, with $14 million of it as a salary average. So you're talking about $6.5 million less than the highest guy. And he understands that, time is short and there's a lot of new money that's out there. The Cowboys have some to work with. They have money that they'll be getting once they do Dak Prescott's deal. And understanding how football works is, as long as you're good and can play and there's nobody out there that can replace you, we love you. But when it comes to, your numbers are going down, you're too expensive, you're gone. And quite frankly, Zack Martin deserves to be, one of the top paid or the top paid because of the work that he's done. When you think about, I think he's got more Pro Bowls than holding penalties. That's how good he is. Sacks doesn't give him up. Now, can he actually hold out? Here's the problem for Zack Martin. The NFL, they didn't just fall off the salad truck, okay? The NFL, when they did the collective bargaining agreement, understood it's a give and take. We're going to give the NFL players some of the things that they want so we can really take what we want. Do you think the NFL owners really cared about them smoking weed? No. So one of the caveats, and this is what the NFL's done, because they did this in 2012 in negotiations. The reason why you don't have two-a-days anymore is because the owners went to the players and said, you guys don't like the practice. How about we do away with two-a-days? We'll make the off-season shorter. What are you guys going to give us in return? So the big thing they gave up this year was being drug tested for marijuana and suspensions due to it and fines. Players ecstatic about that. Owners take a 17th game, more money. But they put in there, and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and things ended up telling the players, this is not a good deal. For the players that have contracts and the longevity wise, it's not. Because the problem is basically the Zeke Elliott rule. The Zeke Elliott rule was, you guys can smoke weed. You know, we're not going to be so heavy about, you know, the uniform issues so much unless you're a Cowboy player like CeeDee Lamb and having your shirt out. We're going to get that 17th game, and we're going to put a clause in here about holding out. It used to be a player could hold out, and once they got the deal done, all was forgiven. You know, there were small fines of like $10,000 a day and so on. And once your deal was done, the team would just, you know, squash that. Everything's fine and good. You know, like when Zeke went to Cabo and, you know, he missed a preseason game and they said, Zeke who? And he signed his contract and the fines and stuff were gone and forgotten. That shit doesn't exist anymore. If Zeke Elliott were to do what he did then, now, or if Zack Martin would, it costs you a game check missing a preseason game. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is not negotiable. It is not forgivable. You miss preseason and holdout training camp, it will cost you game checks. And you get 18 game checks. I think, because of the 18 weeks. It might be 17. It may be, I don't know, maybe you don't get one during the bye week. But I would think that they would separate it out at 18 weeks because that's how long the regular season is. Be that as it may, holding out screws you over. Now, it's different if you're franchise tag, because you're probably saying, well, Mark, you got Saquon talking about holding out. Saquon is not an employee of the Giants until he signs the contract. Therefore, he can't be fined as not being an employee of the organization until he signs the contract. Now, if he signs the contract, from that point forward, if he misses games, then once he signs the contract, he becomes part of the Giants program and he can't hold out or else he'll lose game checks. But until he does, he ain't losing jack. The Giants are the ones to lose. So Zack Martin can hold out technically, but we've always heard about players that were going to hold out since this new collective bargaining agreement. But you know something? You have yet to see any of them hold out. Zack Martin, this should be one of those ones that should be a no-brainer for the Dallas Cowboys, because you want a Zack Martin to be happy and whole with the Dallas Cowboys. And instead of holding out, I think this would be one of these ones that you can kind of go to the Jones and say, listen, I'm the best interior offensive lineman in football. I'm woefully underpaid in comparison to others. You've got the new money coming from the collective bargaining agreement with the gambling money that's out there. And Jerry, we know you're partnered with, of course, one of the casinos out there and things. You can afford to pay me what I'm worth. And that should be a no-brainer on that one. Because you're talking about a guy who, you don't have problems with Zack Martin. He's going to be there. He's going to be in shape. He's going to be mauling people and so on. But hey, it wouldn't be an offseason without some drama from the Dallas Cowboys. So that's where we are on this. This bears watching. But I think I'm going to have to say that him actually holding out, I don't think can actually really happen. He might hold out for a practice or two. It's kind of like Dalton Schultz did. You know, he kind of stayed away from OTAs and all that. But then he showed up for camp and all because he knew how it goes. All right, good people. We'll keep you informed with any news that happens, as always. And we'll be here at the Red Brick House. Maybe later on we'll be doing a live stream because I'm going to be doing some plastering work. My wrist is kind of killing me. But I need to do a test run of the finished plaster to see how far a 5-gallon bucket of it goes. And I'm going to go out here and finish getting the gutters put on because we're trying to beautify this mother home. Okay, good people. I will talk to you later. Peace.